When I first met Chuck, Chuck basically said to me, my 4 kids, three sons, 1 daughter, they all went to West Point. And he spoke quite elegantly about how he committed them to faith, commitment, and dedication. And I basically was very impressed by that, and I said to Chuck, well, I might be able to top you one better. I know someone, we all think of these people that are extraordinary, but we don't necessarily think of the backgrounds that they came from and how much they've accomplished in their lives. And the first time I met Mike Massimino, we had wonderful conversations, and it was many, many years ago, and Mike basically said to me, I want to be an astronaut. I've watched The Right Stuff over 50 times. And I said to him, well, Mike, to be an astronaut, I think you have to be 5'11", you have to have 20/20 vision, and you have to be under 5'11". And Mike wasn't a pilot. He's 6'4", and he was wearing glasses at the time. So it was very interesting to see Mike having faith, tremendous faith and discipline, and then he went to MIT. And I used to sit next to Mike and talk to him with his eyes almost closed because he was studying so hard. And you don't realize it when you'll see him in a few minutes. He's going to look elegant and great. And you don't realize how much effort went into becoming who he is today. He has 2 master's degrees from MIT, 2 PhDs from MIT. And I was lucky enough to be honored where Mike asked me to go to watch him launch. And I went to the Banana River, and I looked out, and he was quarantined for a couple weeks. And I just saw him. I didn't see him, I just saw the shuttle. And I said, wow, he's in there. I wonder what he's thinking. I know what I would be thinking, and I'd probably be pretty worried at that point. So it was just the most amazing thing. As the shuttle took off, the shuttle and the flames were about the same size. And he was going 17,000 miles per hour to clear the atmosphere. And I wondered what type of human being would consider doing something like that. That wasn't a little bit off. But it was amazing how much he had such dedication from the time he was very young to being in space twice. And as I watched him go up and clear the atmosphere, I said to myself, how do you explain this? And there was a couple months later, I was watching Saturday Night Live, and Seth, I forgot what his name is, he was on the news update, and he said, astronauts have changed. Neil Armstrong said, one small step for man, one giant step for mankind. He said Mike Massimino went into space, and his response was, that was totally awesome. And the only thing I can say right now is I felt that way when I first met Mike Massimino, and I feel that way today, that this is one of the most awesome people I've ever met in my entire life, and I'm proud to consider him a very close friend of mine. And Mike, wherever you are, here you are.
Thank you very, very much, John, Christina. I am so fortunate to be here. I feel so humbled getting a chance to meet His Eminence and the various ambassadors and the artists that are here today. It's just a fantastic evening, and I feel very, very lucky and blessed just to be here. So thank you very much for having me. Can I have a couple more minutes, or I got to get off? Is that all right? Okay. Now, I just wanted to share one thing with you, some experiences that I've had, and I've had some wonderful experiences. But I think most astronauts, if you ask them what they remember about their space flights or what they look forward to about going to space, there's a lot of hard work involved and challenges and interesting work. But I think the most important thing, at least for me, and what I look forward to the most and what was most gratifying was getting to view the Earth from space. And at the altitude where I was, where the Hubble Space Telescope flies, you're able to see the Earth when you're out spacewalking. You're able to see the Earth in its entirety. It takes up your whole field of view, but you can see the curvature and you can see it as a planet. And I'd just like to quickly share that experience with you. My first spacewalk, when I was a rookie astronaut in my first flight, I really didn't want to look around too much because I was afraid of losing something or making a mistake, so I didn't really look very much at the Earth. But my second spacewalk I did, I felt more confident. And when I really had a chance to look, there are no words to describe how beautiful it is, but I'll just tell you what I was thinking. My first thought was, this is something that people are not supposed to see. God never intended anyone to look at it. Don't look at it. And I actually turned my head. It was that beautiful. I couldn't even stand to look at it. And then after a couple seconds, I got over that, and I looked again. And I again, just took the beauty in. It's very quiet. It was peaceful at the time out there. And it was so beautiful that I started to get a bit emotional. And I started to tear up. And back at that time, this is about 10 years ago, we were having a problem with our spacesuits. We had a drink bag. The only food or nourishment you have inside of that spacesuit is a drink bag. And it was leaking and it was creating problems with our suit. And we were very concerned about water in the spacesuit. So here I am starting to tear up and cry at this beautiful scene. And I became horrified because I realized if I got water into the suit, I could cause one of these problems. There'd be an investigation. I would have to tell the truth, right, Your Eminence? And I'd say I was crying, and then I'd be, you know, my big shot, tough military astronauts would make fun of me for the rest of my life. So I got myself under control, and I looked a third time, and at that third time looking, I thought, this must be the view from heaven. If you could be in heaven, this is what we must look like from heaven. And then I was replaced by another thought, which was, no, it's more beautiful than that. This is what heaven must look like. And I really felt looking at our planet that I was looking into paradise. And that same spacewalk, I was thinking about what I was looking at, and I thought about being a parent and being a father, which a lot of us can relate to, being parents, and how much we love our children, and how we try to make everything nice for our kids, you know, how we try to make the house nice, we try to give them a nice home, we try to make it comfortable for them and nice for their children. And I thought, how much must God love us that he gave us such a beautiful home, such a beautiful planet to live on. He must love us very, very much. That's the experience I wanted to share with you. I am so privileged to be here. I am not the only Catholic astronaut. There are others as well. So I will take this award on behalf of all the astronauts. Religion does play a big role in space flight, particularly right before launch. It's amazing. I was open to just about any religion. You know, we were allowed to have members of the clergy come and see us during our quarantine period, and I would sit in with just about anybody. I wasn't taking any chances. It wasn't, but religion does play a big part of a lot of our lives, and so I very much appreciate the award, and thank you so much for having me here tonight.